Today for Project for Awesome, I visited Hope for Tomorrow. It's an organization my church is getting involved in to help out with in Aurora, Illinois, which is a halfway house that helps men and veterans with recovery and addiction issues. And this is some of the conversation I had with their director, Jeff.
We do counseling with them, family counseling, spiritual counseling, occupational counseling. We work with case management to help them with any legal problems they might have and to get them back into the mainstream of society.
So, what makes you guys different from other organizations that may be similar to what you do?
I think our philosophy, we have a slogan which is building lives around recovery instead of building recovery around lives. And the thing is with that is that the recovery is the central focus of their life. And where we see people kind of struggle the most with that is in occupational or relational settings. So generally what happens when they do that is they end up returning back to the addiction or returning back to the substance. So with a biopsychosocial spiritual model, we're encompassing everything together and placing recovery at the core, and then everything is secondary to that. I also believe in teaching, the saying of teaching a man to fish rather than giving them a fish. And a lot of people with substance use disorders, as a matter of fact, everybody, they're good people. They just, they maybe had a traumatic event in their life, and so they resorted to substances to deal with it. And of course, I've never met anybody that started with the goal of, I think I'm going to be an alcoholic when I grow up. And so that, of course, affects their self-esteem. And then they kind of get into this cycle of just chasing, the dog chasing its tail. And then, they feel bad for what they're doing, so they feel so bad, they self-medicate. So then they feel worse, and then they feel bad for that, so they self-medicate. You just get into this whirlpool of that. Because they have a hard time forgiving themselves for that. And so I'll talk to them, I'll say, well, do you think Jesus forgives you? And most of them go, well, yeah. Then you need to forgive yourself, because if you don't, then you're saying you're a better judge of who deserves forgiveness than Christ.
How did you get started with Hope for Tomorrow?
Well, my beautiful wife Janet and I started Hope for Tomorrow in 1999 along with my mom. And basically it came about because for a different part of my life, I struggled with an addiction. And through God's grace, I've been clean for over 16 years.
That's awesome.
Give it to him. Since starting Hope for Tomorrow and seeing the problems, the social ills that happen, there's child neglect and abandonment, there's dissolution of marriage, there's homicides, there's rapes, there's women selling and men selling their bodies for the drugs, and there's substance seeking, other criminal behaviors, and just the whole spiritual malady of it. And so I thought, what can I do? What can I do to make a difference?
So, because obviously this is a very Christian-centered organization, but do people need to be Christians in order to come here? Okay.
No, they don't, because we're licensed by the state.
Right.
I am not afraid to tell people my faith and my beliefs,
which is awesome.
but I can't force them to believe what I believe. I also think that doesn't work.
Yeah, I agree. So I just want people to know that they're still welcome here no matter who they are, their background, or anything like that, which just makes it even more awesome.
It's about looking back at your life in later years of life and realizing that your life made a difference.
So thanks so much, Jeff. I'm glad we were able to do this.
And thank you, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
All right, Merry Christmas.